Welcome back to AI Sports Trader, the series designed to help you learn the basics of Betfair trading in the simplest way possible. If you're brand new to sports trading, this series is your starting point. Every episode builds on the last one, step by step, so by the end you'll understand the core foundations of how trading works. In the last episode, we broke down how odds work, and that's the first piece of the puzzle. Now we're moving on to something even more important for protecting your money: liability. This is the number that keeps your trading bank safe, and once you understand it, everything else becomes much easier. Let's break this down in the simplest way possible. Liability is the amount of money you could lose when you place a lay bet. It's not your stake. It's not the amount you choose to put in. It's the amount you're responsible for if the bet goes wrong. Here's the easiest way to remember it. When you back something, your stake is your risk. When you lay something, your liability is your risk. Think of it like this. When you lay a bet, you're acting like the bookmaker. You're saying, I don't think this will happen, and if I'm wrong, I'll pay out. So Betfair calculates how much you'd have to pay out. That payout amount is your liability. It's the maximum you can lose on that trade. Let's walk through a super simple example so this really clicks. Imagine you lay a team at odds of 4.0 with a £10 stake. Here's what that means. You're betting against the team winning. If they lose or draw, you win the £10. If they win, you have to pay out the winnings. At odds of 4.0, the payout is 3 times the stake. So your liability is £30. Let's break it down visually. Let's say your stake is £10, and the odds are 4.0. You would have a potential payout of £30. So your liability is £30 and would be at risk. But this would mean the maximum loss is £30, and you can't lose more than this. So your maximum win in this example would be £10. Here's a quick fact sheet to make it even clearer. The higher the odds, the bigger the liability. And this is why traders always check the liability before placing a lay bet. Liability is one of the most important numbers in your entire trading journey because it protects your bank. When you know your liability, you know the maximum you can lose. There are no surprises and no hidden risks. You are not guessing. This is what separates traders from gamblers. Gamblers think about how much they can win. Traders think about how much they can lose and whether that risk makes sense. Liability gives you control. It lets you say, I only want to risk £5 on this trade. Or you might think, I'm comfortable risking £20 here, and Betfair will automatically calculate the stake for you based on the liability you choose. This is how professional traders stay in the game long term. They don't blow their bank. They don't take wild risks. They manage liability at all costs. Here are a few simple tips that will help you massively as a beginner. The first tip is always look at the liability number and not the stake. The stake is irrelevant when laying. Liability is the real risk. The second tip is start with small liability amounts. Even low amounts of £2 or £5 is enough to learn the mechanics. The third tip I have is high odds means high liability. If you're laying something at 10.0, your liability will be huge, so be careful. And my final tip for now is, if you're trading live, odds can move fast. Make sure your liability fits your bank before you click. These small habits will protect your bank and help you build confidence. Liability is the safety net of Betfair trading. It protects your bank, keeps you in control, and helps you trade like a professional and not like a gambler. Now that you understand liability, the next step is learning how odds actually work. Because once you understand odds, everything else in trading becomes so much easier. So if you haven't watched it yet, tap the video on screen now to learn exactly how Betfair odds work, explained super simply in under 3 minutes. Hit like if this helped, subscribe if you want more beginner-friendly trading guides, and drop a comment if you've got questions. I answer every single one.